The other thing that's going on, which I absolutely love, is Scott Walker. He went to give a speech at Chicago's Union League Club. I really like this, Lewis. Have you seen any of this video?
No, not yet.
Good. I like it when you're not aware of anything we're going to talk about. It gives for a more authentic reaction.
Right.
He went to give a speech at Chicago's Union League Club the morning of November 3rd, and he had some unexpected guests in the way of Stand Up Chicago who do a brilliant Scott Walker mic check. Take a look at this. I really like this. And I want to focus you in on a key moment if you're watching this. The moment that the yelling starts, it's like 1 or 2 frames, literally. You have to look very closely, but Scott Walker's eyes get wide open and his eyebrows just go so high. He has no, it's almost like a gunshot went off. We might have to still it because it's very hard to see. Take a look.
The sole purpose is for all the Congress in the state of Wisconsin.
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Acknowledge this day! And we see you at this fancy breakfast! And we see you at this fancy breakfast!
Okay, so far Scott Walker tries to just keep going, but he's nowhere near as loud as all of the people that I don't even know how, but brilliantly gotten into this breakfast.
Their voices are a little bit different than others out there, but along the way...
On the lives of working families! On the lives of working families! Governor Walker's vilified! Governor Walker's vilified union!
So this continues and it goes on, and eventually towards the end, Scott Walker, the governor, is just standing there, and then the actual union busting chants start, and you have to. I mean, I know that when these things happen, what can you really do? You just stand there. You can't really talk over it, but he has to feel pretty silly just standing there in the middle. I mean, look at this.
Union busting is disgusting! Union busting is disgusting! Union busting is disgusting! We are the 99%! We are the 99%!
All right, so how do you even stage that? I would love to know. How do you get so many? I don't know the details, whether you needed to be a donor to get into this event or who, you know, a lot of events, they're very careful about handpicking people that are in the crowd to prevent exactly this type of thing from happening. Didn't work this time.
Yeah, it looked like that was a good 10 people or more.
It is. Now, would you consider this is a nonviolent protest, right?
Right.
It would be absurd to try to make the argument that because they're shouting someone down and not allowing them to speak, that this is in some way a violent protest. Do you agree?
Agreed.
What do you think, Natan? I mean, because some people say this is a disruption such that it's not physical violence, but it is not really peaceably assembling, so to speak. What do you think?
I mean, certainly it's not the same as like sitting and occupying a building.
Quietly.
Right. But was this like a private event?
Well, that's the thing. It was Chicago's Union League Club, and I don't know the details of what the requirements were to get in. Certainly the people that were there, even if they were obviously weren't clear they were going to protest, but they weren't there illegally in any way. They figured out a way to be allowed in.
But would it have been allowable to remove them? Say if Scott Walker wanted security to remove them?
I mean, that's one of those things where if you're disrupting the event, police can kind of make the judgment. What are you disrupting the peace? What are you doing? They probably could have been removed and it wouldn't have been breaking any law.
I mean, disruptive is a pretty ambiguous word. Sitting and occupying a building and not letting people walk by, for example, that's disruptive.
It
but
is
it's
also
definitely
disruptive.
nonviolent.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on that, Lewis? What's the limit at which point it becomes a violent protest? Does someone have to, let me put it this way. Does someone have to be injured for it to be a violent protest? I would say no, because if you start...
Injured, no, because you can give someone a shove and they could be unharmed.
Sure.
I don't really know. Just as soon as it starts getting physical.
Right. All right.
I guess.